I think in 5 years we'll laugh at how ridiculous this is. Parents trying to smuggle this back to their illegal home state and not get arrested. These people are absolutely sick, and the treatment's working for them. So when she was 5 years old, we really hit rock bottom with Charlotte. So she was seizing every 30 minutes. They had just kind of ramped up over her life. By 5, we had failed every drug. We had no one left. I mean, everyone was walking out. What do you want?
To see.
It was really, it was a very difficult time, and it's an ugly situation, and it's scary. And they gave me my child. They gave her a chance. They gave her back to me.
My brother Joel called a couple of us and was like, "Hey, what do you think about getting in the marijuana business?" And I was like, "Yeah, are you joking?" I thought he was joking. Before we'd met Charlotte, before we'd met anybody, we had done a lot of our own research and reading on CBD that had shown that it stopped the metastasis of cancer, specifically breast cancer and ovarian cancer. Some people are like, well, it should be illegal and yada, yada, yada. Well, we're helping people. At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Well, when I interviewed for the job, I saw the pictures of the kids on the wall. So the heartfelt mission, I was drawn to that mission. And I think a lot of people here, probably everybody, that's the reason they're here.
We had nothing left. As a mother, you know, if you have kids, you don't give up. And so as a last-ditch effort, I really started looking. My husband was in Afghanistan, and he started digging and looking. And we found this old data showing part of the cannabis plant as it was a proven anticonvulsant. And I was really looking for something that was safe and lab tested and high in CBD. Last day, it was the day I quit, I gave up and I just stopped looking. It had been a couple months. And I met Joel. He knew what cannabidiol was. They were breeding with the plant to try and get the levels of THC lower. And we cultivated it, we turned it into an oil, we lab tested it, and I gave her her first dose. She had a feeding tube, and so she couldn't swallow. I thought, there's no way. She's been on some very powerful drugs. Some of them you have to sign a waiver for liver failure, or blindness is a side effect. And so how could this work? After the first dose for a week, she had 7 days without a seizure, 300 seizures that she didn't have.
It started working for Charlotte, and we just decided to start calling it Charlotte's Web.
You know, when we can provide a product with high quality and high consistency and high standards to the people who need it and always be there for them. It doesn't really get better than that, honestly.
It's kind of humiliating to have to go and convince people that you're not this crazy person who wants to free the weed.
So in Colorado, I feel like we're in like a fishbowl, and everybody's kind of looking in on us, and it hasn't come out to them and really affected their everyday life. But I think now it will, because the people that normally would be living next to them that needed this were moving to Colorado.
So people are leaving their countries and their states and moving to Colorado. Some of them don't speak English. Some of them had to split their families in half. And some of them couldn't move, and they're still waiting to figure it out, fighting with the legislation on passing bills.
You have to break down the stigma of the plant itself, and I think we're going to do that. It's kind of akin to gay marriage. I think people don't want to overturn gay marriage because they don't understand it, but when they know somebody personally, it kind of erodes long-held biases that don't belong there anyway.
We get a lot of the sort of kudos and the awards and things like that, but we're just kind of the messengers and the stewards of this whole project.
So 1635 is a federal bill, the whole entire U.S. It is the removal of CBD and hemp from the Controlled Substances Act. It will have no schedule whatsoever. I can't ethically know that there are people out there with kids like Charlotte going through what I was going through and that incredible, incredible suffering. And so I just can't sit idly by, knowing what I know. I think that a mistake was made through Prohibition, and I think we can fix it.